Hello everyone, Kurt here, and welcome back to another episode from Fiore Labs. Today we're continuing on with our journey within regards to Fiore's first master covers and and the counters to those types of covers. And today we're specifically going to be addressing on the figure 4 and how we can get out of that. As you're starting to see here, there's a theme. There's a continued theme that comes down to you double up one side, you double up against. And just how we make those types of shapes differently right here make a lot of sense when you have another person to work with right there. So with that being the case here, I brought Connor again here for this. Again, we're going to be he and I are going to continue to work with this as much as possible to kind of give that context to what we're seeing here and why things are going a certain way here and some types of mindset pieces that come to this. And with that being the case here, let's get into it. Okay, we're set up again here once again to look at one of the other counter mechanisms right here that we have in regards to Fiore. Specifically today right here, we are looking at where we come across, and we're going to grab across here where we have like that figure 4 arm lock that's going to really contend with the hands. And remember, for how I see what's actually happening here, and again, I don't want to actually hurt Connor. So with that being the case here, I am not getting to do half the stuff with the anger and intensity that probably is happening in this moment, the fear that's happening in that moment. So please understand that this right here is about explaining the concept and techniques and where we're going to try to strike to cause different effects and not a replication of violence. So in this case right here, once again, first message I played here, Connor's going to strike up against me right here, and I'm going to create this covering mechanism. Whether I secure the hands, I grab the hands, whatever here, ultimately, from here, this position, I'm not trying to wrench here. This is the play right here where, once again, I've created this covering mechanism, and I'm going to come across with my hand. Personally, what I think is happening right here, again, like I said from the last time, is I'm coming up, I'm striking him, and I'm turning into this leg, into his arm. And you can already tell, once again, whether it's here or here, I'm controlling his body all over the place here. I don't have to take him to the ground right here, but in this time, it's just a matter of me dropping all my weight here and snapping his arm into place. Key facets that lets me to do this right here is as that dagger comes in, is again, I cover, strike him, right? Knowing effective strikes, I'm going for the eyes, I'm pushing the eyes, I'm grabbing the ear, I'm hitting him, maybe I'm popping him in the throat, I don't care. Something along the lines here that's getting his attention to go that way. So, boom, and then wrapping into this, and then turning this down. We'll switch sides here real fast. So again, just so we can kind of see that again, now that we have it all in that perspective, so we can see where my hands go, head that a little bit closer as well. This is an important one because of what we're going to do here for a counter mechanism. The attack comes in, boom, and off of this right here, strike, I'm hitting him offline right here. I'm going to roll and wrap into this, and I have that grip right here, which allows me to torque. By the way, my leg's right in the inside right here, so I can hit him in the groin. I can hit his leg. There's all sorts of nasty things right there that I can do which are going to break him apart. And I have to move fast on this right here because if I don't move fast, if I don't actually grab, if I don't strike him in the face, so I'm here, I come across, I'm like this, he's got my back. This isn't even the counter of it all, but but he's got my back. And I'm in a bad situation right here. I don't care how bad this situation is right here. He can grab around and grab his hands, all sorts of nasty things right here. And now I'm really in trouble. And because he's a bigger guy, I just set myself up for this. So remember, with this being the case, shot, strike, turn, break. As fast as you can with this at all. And personally, I think if you're really trying to be effective with it all, and it doesn't show it shows the leg being here as far as the counter, as far as this counter to the dagger. But personally, strike, in, step, and break it. Because that's going to have all of his body go down this way. Okay? And we don't need to go into that as far as depth goes. Okay. So I'll roll this. So to counter this, what happens is, instead of, once again, we're talking about he's made the covering mechanism. He's against the arm here. He struck me across the line right here. He's coming to cut this right here. He's coming this in, and now he's setting this up. Fiore's concept is to grab your hand and now just drive it into his throat, which is right there. Because the reality is the dagger is very, very close in play. So whether he has stepped across by right here against this, I have this in place. I can start digging this into his chest, or I can start working for his face. this is also, set this way, you can see this is the point, and that's his face. So this is already, if I want to, I can grab my wrist and start driving this into his eyes and or neck. So again, we're starting to see a continuation of what we saw from the second and the third counters, where I come up here and I turn down, I come right here and I grab and I come in with this. And we're utilizing weight against structure here. I'm sorry, we're utilizing structure against structure. So his body projection is going this way, my body projection is going against him. You don't have to step any differently with it all. It's just a matter of how we end up in that line. So we'll flip it here so we can see it's probably a little bit easier. Knife comes in, he covers it with it all. He starts, goes for my face, boom. As soon as he does, I'm coming up here for the knife. My hand is right here on top of myself. My hand's like within the circuit one right against the ligadura. And I can drive this in. That's not me, that's not him giving way, that's me pushing into his neck and him not wanting to get stabbed. It's not a comfortable spot. And if we look at other blows with the sword, if I'm hitting here in the neck or anything else, or in the eye, or any of these other things here, these are all effective spots that we don't want to go towards. Other thing that can be happening with this is maybe in this case right here, maybe I beat him a little bit to the punch. So he comes up right here, he pops in this way, he brings up his hand, I'm gonna bring my hand up immediately. So he goes for my, so now we're now effectively square up with each other. So instead of going for my hand, instead of going for my hand, he's still gonna try to wrap the wrist, but I'm right here inside, I beat him to this and I'm able to break that structure down, okay? So just understand that when I'm talking about essentially, again, getting to this kind of a grip, right? We're getting this kind of a grip. It doesn't necessarily matter. You know, if the guy's swinging me with this right here, boom, pops me across, I go with this all, I have to then utilize this. The other thing that's nasty about this, step back a little bit, is that my hand being up here, I also can drive down with my elbow. There's all sorts of manner of things right here. Then I can grab his hair. I can do all sorts of things here necessary. So just understand that when it comes down to performing this counter, yes, this is it, but you have all other parts of your body, elbows, your knees, something in there that's going to be able to turn it. Remember, in that covering mechanism, here, pops across here, I'm here. If he doesn't really want to go, drive into his groin. And you can already tell that how much that already pushes him off in this direction. Remember, a person that would be actually attacking you at this time is not necessarily just going to be like, oh yes, please do this right here. This is a nasty situation, which is why in our Brazzari section we talk about grabbing eyes, hairs, knee in the groin, grabbing the hands, breaking elbows, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot there is to contending with this. We're just looking at, manuscript-wise, how we may find ourselves in this type of a position. Okay? So again, big thing in that is reinforcing the grip and using counter structures right here. A big thing that I find beneficial of this too is utilizing, if I'm in this position right here, is stepping largo again. I'm stepping against his weight, and now it's his back that's holding him up and not his legs. And you can see how he had to shift his legs there. Again, these pictures are not meant to be a stopping point. They are a crossing. They are literally a crossing of encrustada. They are a bind work here that we see within sword. There's all sorts of manner of nasty things with it all. It is just the basic premise of what we're entering in. So that looks right here as far as, again, looking at the figure 4 and how we counter against that in Fiore's first master dagger. So you can see with the video there why, once again, it's important to have that effective strike to redirect so that we can get to the throw spot in time. And again, in many ways, this kind of tells me don't rush the situation here. I may have just come out here, maybe just tapped him on the nose and I grabbed his hand. You know, we don't know what an effective strike was for Fiore. I have my own thoughts on that. What to me that means is that you had a committed thing that made them shift their direction here. Once you feel their arm and body jostle in a direction that tells you, it goes back to what the Germans would say of fühlen, that once you've done that right there and that person then feels like the, oh God, I'm wrapped around right here. Once you feel that, and it's very easy to feel, then go for the larger takedown. And again, if we don't do that, the consequences are pretty severe in this right here, especially how he comes right up right here. And the dagger's right here. I can just easily turn. This is not stopped, right? Now I've got a spot where I can reinforce that dagger into the chest line or the throat or anywhere else that I need to be. And again, that's a big part of the continuation here that we're talking about for these master plays and these counters, is that follow the sequence of operations. I would also like to add too is that even though this is made for defense, I think that Fiore would also have the mentality of like, and my evidence of this is to fifth master dagger, and we'll get there. But my evidence of why he understands have effective strikes is because fifth master dagger itself, maybe I grab you and knife you, or maybe I knifed at you then grabbed you. Who knows, right? The book is silent because maybe it's at the same time. I don't know. Maybe the guy's crazy. Who knows? But the point being is, as we look at this right here, we're talking about what happens with people that are coming against you, and how we have to contend with certain types of things. So following the sequence of operations that we have here means that somebody else is also going to be following those sequence of operations as well. Again, we don't know. He comes from a lineage of martial training. Okay. He's not a ghost. We know that he was a person. We know that he had martial experience. To what extent is debatable. I'm not here to argue that. However, anyone that has the money at the time to put forth a book like this right here and talk about their martial training, to me, is someone who knows what the heck they're talking about. Okay, and that right there, especially when you talk about commissioning a book to the best of what's capable in those times. You got to have some type of funds to be able to do this right here, or someone's funding you to get this onto paper right there, which means that they value your opinion. That's just my logic in this whole thing right there. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that with the comments below. But anyway, with this right here, because he's a part of that lineage, again, he understands that someone's not just going to go, oh, they countered me, I guess my life is over. No, this is someone who's going to be coming in and doing their own things to kind of create a really horrible situation. And that's something that we have to respect, which is why we have to also understand that just because you strike somebody doesn't mean that they're not going to be striking back, doesn't mean it's going to be effective enough. It means that effective strikes and be able to move to deeper things when the time is right is a key part of, I'm going to say it again, avvisamento. If you have no grounding, then your speed means nothing. If you have no awareness, then your courage means nothing. So you have to have these things right there. If you have them, maybe you get out of it. Maybe. And that's the big lesson about this. So with that being the case here, that's going to wrap up this lesson right here in regards to the, I call it the figure 4, but it's him coming across here in regards to that first master dagger play. And again, like I said, I would love to hear your thoughts and considerations. The image right there, I went through all the sources. It's very hard to see. It looks kind of like there's a bunch of hands up here. I saw a video, I forget who had said it, but someone else put it like, it's like the 8 hands up here. It's like the octo hand. Everything is just crazy. That's what I think is happening, what I think he is doing there, and I think that's a very important thing for us to kind of also respect, because the arm's coming across. Why he might be doing this, why he may not be doing this, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Regardless, looking at this, we have to understand that, that's what my interpretation is. And I would love to hear what your thoughts are on what are you seeing with this right here. What are you teaching out there? What are you learning out there? Please share that in the comment below. If you're new to the channel, again, please like and subscribe. Share with a friend. Got a personal goal. I want to reach 1,000 viewers on this, and I'd love to keep going beyond with this. A big part of this right here, I'm loving being able to give back and hear from people and develop new ideas and thoughts, because I think this is really powerful. And I think that, and by powerful, it's not just about, yes, I can fight really well with a sword, but it gives us understandings of places that humans have been and places that we really are glad that we don't have to be. And that's something for me, at least. But anyway, like I said, love to have you within the community here. Love to hear your thoughts on this, and love to have you along in the journey right here. With that being the case here, everybody, as always, stay safe, train well, and fight on. I'll see you all soon.